Okay, so morning guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to this week's video. This week's video is going to be a little what's in my bag video, and I'm actually going to be doing it mobile basically. I'm about to head up with a few friends to North Wales for a long weekend of photography. So that's going to be promising to be a really good weekend. The weather looks fabulous, so I'm hoping to get some really nice sunset shots, a few nice sunrises and some nice shots in between. We're going around the Snowdonia area, Llanberis, and I think it's at the Norwich Quarry as well. So all around those areas. So this is probably going to be the first in a series of, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 videos. So we'll have to wait and see. So on the way up, I'm going to be explaining to you what's in my bag. I'm just waiting for my driver to turn up, if you like. Last time we went out like this, I drove, Mark Kelly came with me, and this time Mark Kelly is doing the driving, which I'm not too upset about because it's quite a long way. Apparently it's about 4.5 to 5 hours, so quite glad I can sit back and let somebody else do the driving for a change. Sorry Mark. But yeah, it's going to be nice, it's going to be good. So just waiting for him to turn up. But while we're waiting for him to turn up, I'm going to tell you a bit about the actual bag that I'm going to be taking. Okay, so the actual bag that I'm using is this. It's the Tarion PB01 Pro bag, and it's got a lot of pockets. It's got a lot of storage. You can see here me demonstrating the bag. It's quite a big bag, it's quite a large bag, but when you're going on a trip like this, then you need to be able to pack not only your camera, your lenses, your filters, your batteries. You also need to be able to carry some sort of snacks and stuff like that as well. So this carries everything. It carries absolutely everything that I need, and it weighs a bit of a ton once it's fully loaded. But I can get my tripod, camera, lenses, filters, a snack, GoPro bits and pieces, battery charging bits and pieces, 2 tripods, and I'm also going to be taking the M50 as well this time. So it's all going to fit in this bag, and I'm going to be lugging it around for the weekend. Got a space in the back for a laptop. I'm not actually demonstrating that at the moment. But there is space at the back for a laptop, so I will be putting mine in there to transport, but I'll be taking it out once I get there because it's heavy enough as it is. But yeah, this is the bag that everything's going to go into. Okay, so we finally got moving. Had a few technical issues with the GoPro when Mark arrived. Mark is currently driving the vehicle, so we're going to leave him in peace while I talk you through the next part of what's in my bag. So the next part is obviously the camera. The Canon R5 is what I've upgraded to now. I've gone through a few cameras in the last few years, but the R5 was the one camera that I really wanted as soon as I saw it announced. So I moved up to that. It's the camera that I really wanted for a few reasons. The 45 megapixel sensor, the 12 frames per second in mechanical, and the 20 frames per second in silent mode. And the only trouble with that is that you can soon rack up quite a few images if you're taking shots of birds in flight, but you're not going to miss many. The autofocus system is second to none. It's light, and it came with the adapter that meant that I could put all my EF-L lenses straight onto it. So I'm keeping those for now and upgrading as I go along. And we'll talk about the lenses a bit more along on the journey. But yeah, Canon R5 is the camera of my choice, and it's coming with me on this trip. Okay, so we're making good ground. We've just dropped down onto the M5, but come out of the blue sunshine and down into the thick fog. We're on much lower ground here, but onward and upward with what's in my bag video. So I've done the camera. That's obviously lenses have got to be next. So what am I taking on this trip? Taking the the holy trinity of lenses, if you like, the 16 to 35, the 24 to 70, and the 70 to 200. The first two, the 16 to 35, 24 to 70, are both f2.8, so they're quite hefty lenses, they're heavy. The 70 to 200 is an f4, which is much lighter, and it's something that I am going to look at changing the others into f4 lenses, but obviously the RF versions as I move forward. For landscape photography, a little bit of bird photography with the 200mm, maybe if they come close enough you get away with it. They're just the perfect set of lenses for landscapes, waterfalls, anything like that, seascapes, and they're basically my three main go-to lenses for any sort of trip really. I've also got the 100mm macro lens, that's not coming on the trip, and the 100 to 400 Mark II version, and that's not coming on the trip either. It's just far too heavy, and I'm already carrying enough, as you're going to see as the video progresses. So those are the lenses. We're going to carry on up the motorway up the M5 a little bit more, and then I'll come back and let you know what else I'm carrying on this trip. Okay, so we're making pretty good progress, and the sun is actually starting now to poke through the fog. So lenses, camera, bag, all that sort of thing done. So I'm going to move on to filters. I use the Lee filter system. At the time when I did get filters for my first camera way back when, I looked at Nisi and Lee and a couple of others as well, and I think I just got a good deal on eBay for a Lee set, and that's probably why I went with Lee in the first place. So I've now got quite a sort of stock of filters. I've got the 0.3, 0.6, 0.9 and 1.2 soft grads. I've got the 0.3 Pro Glass filter, the little stopper, the big stopper and the super stopper. So it's quite on. I've also got the polarizer as well, the landscape polarizer. So it's quite a stack of filters there. But you need nearly all of them at some point to do landscape photography when you're trying to balance different shades of light with mountains or wherever you might be. And obviously the polarizer takes glare and reflection off of wet leaves and things like that. So stuff that you do need. Stuff it's filters that I always carry around no matter where I go or when I go out doing photography. I've always got my filter case with me.
Speed camera ahead.
Wow. Speed camera ahead. So yeah, that's the filters, and I will come back to you shortly on the trip and let you know what else I'm carrying. I'll speak to you soon. Okay, so we're about 2 hours into the journey, and we're going to make a bit of a pit stop at Stafford Services, give the old legs a bit of a stretch and have a cup of coffee. Weather's definitely brightened up, no end. The fog seems to have lifted. So hopefully when we get to our destination, should be nice and bright and sunny, and about mid-afternoon.
Sorry, Nick. 194.
194 for diesel.
Jesus.
Don't think we'll be getting diesel here.
No.
So yeah.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but yeah, we're gonna have a coffee and discuss the price of diesel, I think. I'll come back to you soon.
Driver's in shock.
Okay, so I've just changed motorways. We've left the M6 now. We're now on the M56, heading across the top of North Wales. I think we got probably about an hour and a half to go, 2 hours, something like that. Yeah, about something like that to go. Weather's gorgeous, set to stay this way for the whole weekend, so we're blessed with lovely weather for the trip. Motorways are moving nice and smoothly, but I'll say that quietly. So all being well, should be there pretty soon. I'll wait till we get off the motorway or onto a quieter road before we go through the next part of what's in my bag. And I think we're going to be talking about just the bits and pieces that go with the rest of the kit. So I'll come back to you in a sec. few other things that I'm using on this trip is I brought my M50 along for the ride. I do intend to swap that out for another GoPro in the very near future, just for ease of use and lightness really. The GoPro 10 does 5.3K 60, 4K 60. I've got no need to carry an M50 around, but not having got to the GoPro 10 yet, the other GoPro 10, I've brought it along just for time lapses and things like that. So I brought that along. I've also bought my EOS 600 film camera as well. Whether I get to use it up here remains to be seen, I don't know. But I brought it along just for another element, another bit of fun if you like. It's a long time since I've used it. I've got a couple of films for it, so I brought it along. Hopefully maybe get some stuff around the quarry or wherever we go, I don't know. So keep watching, might use it, might not, don't know. Like I've said, I'm using the GoPro 10 to film everything with, and on that I've also got the Rode wireless mic, and you can see it just probably attached to the seat belt here at the moment. I'll have that tucked in my coat or my jacket or whatever I'm wearing at the time. The weather stays like this, I won't be wearing a coat, so yeah, so far so good.
In 1 mile, at the roundabout, take the second exit onto A55 West.
Okay, so finally across the border into Wales, and I think it's time I told you a bit more about what I'm carrying in my bag on this trip. So with all the other bits and pieces, I've chucked in some lens cloths and the adapters and battery cases, along with batteries and all this sort of bits and pieces. And I've also added a power bank to the kit this time, because the GoPro batteries don't last very long. That's the one downside I would say to the GoPro. They don't last very long at all. On this trip alone I've already gone through one, so I'm on the second battery just coming up here. So they don't last long, so I've got plenty with me. I've also got the charging units and this power bank to keep things charged up on the move. What else have we got? Other accessories. I've got my remote. I'll start again. I've also got my remote cable. I got a compartment in the bottom of the bag for sort of little bits of snacks and nibbles, somewhere to put a drink if I need it. Don't know how long we're going to be out, so it's always nice to have something to eat and drink. And I suppose while I'm here, I might as well tell you the rest of it. Last but not least is the tripod. Now, I changed my tripod last year from I'll put the name up just here because I can't remember the name of it now, but I've changed it to the ArcSice tripod, and it's a much sturdier, much higher, and I think much lighter tripod. The other one that I had fell over and consequently broke my 100 to 400 lens, which cost me a few quid because it wasn't insured. So it is now since been insured. The tripod has been disposed of, and I have now upgraded to this ArcSice tripod. So it's much sturdier, much more solid, and less likely to fall over. So if you're doing long exposure, you want something that's good and solid, and something that's going to stand have a bit of wind if you get it. So that's basically what I've got on this trip for me in my bag, along with me walking poles as well. So quite a hefty sort of filled up bag for the trip, but when you've not been somewhere like this before, so it's kind of 5 hour trip to get up here. So when you're coming up somewhere like this, you need to bring everything that you think you're going to need and more. So
have you got your sunblock with you?
I got my sunblock. Yes. No, I haven't got my sunblock. It's not going to be that warm. So yeah, I bought everything apart from the very big lens, the macro lens, everything for landscape photography and for filming it, and hopefully we're in for a really good trip. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I've shown you everything. I'm going to leave it there. I'll show you a bit more footage of us turning up to our place where we're staying, and I think our first trip out is actually going to be tonight, but for you it'll be next week. And I think I'm going to say this right, I think we are going to go and photograph Carnarvon Castle tonight. So hopefully get some nice reflections on the river or the sea or whichever it is. I've not been around this way before. Hopefully get some nice reflections, and if it stays like this, who knows, maybe even a bit of astrophotography over the top of it, I don't know. So if you haven't yet subscribed, consider doing so. This is going to be a start of a mini series of 3, 4, maybe even 5 videos. So I hope you enjoy them, and I will see you on the next one real soon. Bye for now.